This meeting is called to order and flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Item 3, any citizen desiring to be heard. Evelyn, I would assume you would like to have something to say.
I appreciate that. Only reason I want to apologize for leaving last meeting, but there was a few things I wanted to say to you that was not public, and I just couldn't bite my tongue. Need to let you know, we're talking about South Douglas Boulevard, for the record, from Darling Lane, which is probably 1/3 of a mile, south to the single lane bridge, which is, as I recall, a little more than 1/3 of a mile north of Seward and Douglas intersection. Douglas, between East Prairie Grove, from that point south, almost 2 miles, is single lane. Sometimes it's bare rock, and you can't do anything about the bare rock unless you blast the stupid stuff. But the 1 mile we are concerned about is that blind road that goes from from Prairie Grove to Triplet. There is a section with the recent rains, there's a section that is washing away. A couple of weeks ago, it was just a crack. And now at the west end, which runs into a gully, is about 1 foot wide. And it is now approximately 8 to 10 inches deep. And we have to basically come to a stop. Our neighbors to the north recently moved in. I don't know their names yet. He has come in with gravel of his own to fill in the holes that are around that spring, which of course you can't do anything about, that's just at the intersection. We no longer have a road. It's just a single lane dirt. The only time it's safe to drive that road is at night, because at least you can see oncoming traffic. But other than that, it's a nightmare. And all we have ever asked is that it be gravelled, and where you can, widen it. I came across a gentleman in a pickup truck. I had to go into Edmond the other day, and I went south from our home at Douglas near Triplet. I had gone maybe 3/4 of a mile, and I could see him barely. But when we got, he came to a stop. Our mirrors almost touched because it had narrowed that far, and my truck was literally at the berm. The road's been graded so many times it's no longer the original level, but it is so dangerous, and many of our new neighbors go 40, 50 miles an hour on that road. Why we have not had a fatality is only God knows. But we need it taken care of before winter gets here. You recall that problem you had with Triplet forever washing out until you fixed it. That is what we're looking at on Douglas now. And it's the bottom of one of the dips, and you cannot see it until you're there, unless you've been over it many times. We just want it gravelled, rolled, and do the best you can to fix it and grade it where necessary so we don't risk our lives going up and down Douglas. And that's all we've ever asked for, sir. You said the last meeting that you had your priorities. Well, you know what Douglas is like. It was like that long before you became a commissioner, when you were an ATT service rep for the area. It was bad. And it hasn't gotten better. Your predecessors did squat. At least 2 of them gravelled Douglas when they could. So, sir, please, I asked you before, person to person earlier this year, and you said you would look into it. Well, you gravelled Douglas, but 2 miles south of us. And Seward, between Seward and Roller Coaster, which it needed. But you have left out that 1 mile. And all we want is that road to be fixed so it is safe to drive. Will you do it, sir?
I would love to talk to you. I came in your driveway one time. That was not anywhere in the discussion. And I have a cell phone number, 405-650-0384. I have email address, which I almost got one hand before to me because you got that address wrong, wherein you emailed everybody you could think of to email. And I have a website where you can put a road problem on. If you'd like to stay after the meeting, we can talk.
Well, we're talking now, sir, for the record.
Yes, ma'am.
And I would like your...
Any other citizens to be heard? Moving on to item 4.
Sir,
Ma'am?
you cut me off today like you did last time.
I'm sorry.
I want it for the record, sir. I want a date that you will fix trick.
I can't give you a date. Sorry.
So will you continue?
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I have no idea what's going to be happening.
Well, sir, 6 years ago, you knew the
All
road
right.
was bad, and you're
Well,
cutting me off again.
I really
do not appreciate
honestly cannot talk about that. So let's move on. If there's no other citizen to be heard, and you are more than welcome to call me, talk to me. I'll drive by there. We can drive up and down the road. You can show me specific. I'm very, very available. So on to item 4, consideration and possible action on approving minutes of August 14, 2015.
I'll make a motion we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Evelyn, maybe after the meeting, y'all can get together and...
Please. I would love to do that.
What I was trying to point out earlier, on our agendas, we have any citizen desiring to be heard. It's really not for us to reply back, it's just for us to hear your concerns. We heard them, I hope Mike heard them, and maybe he'll meet with you after the meeting, y'all can go look at the road. But
He
thanks,
can follow me home and he'll see what it's like.
thanks for coming in.
On to item number 5. We have consideration possible action on reappointing Craig Lotz of the 522 Crescent EMS Board.
I'll make the motion we reappoint Mr. Lawrence.
I know you had some concerns last
Yeah.
year about it. Is that something?
Yeah, what's happened is, we got 3 new members on the board, and Craig's term was up, and he would like to be reappointed, and I thought it'd be wise to put him back on the board with 3 new members on there. And they're going through pretty tough times right now. We need some,
So he's the anchor of the team, is that what you're saying?
that's what I'm saying.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 6, consideration and possible action on approving real property acquisitions and ingress and egress agreements for NCRS applications for District Number 3.
What this is during the floods, NRCS come out, we're gonna have some sites where we're gonna be rip-rapping, and we might have to, get our equipment on private property to get the rip-rap in, and so I just need these agreements signed.
This is the first I've seen them. They're not set up for the board, and in fact, they're identified for a signature of the name of sponsor.
Is that drug court?
Okay, well, and then it says, this action and official meeting, Logan board by and a title. So, Monty, did they instruct you what goes in those blanks?
Hey, holler at Cynthia, she's got all the,
Cynthia, could you come in here, please?
I think this is for the DA to sign. Do you have them sheets?
Yeah.
I think this is what the board needs to sign, Joy. If you want to look at these.
They need to
Well,
sign.
it's 2-part though.
Yeah, they need to sign this too.
But
Board.
it's not, is it the name of the sponsor or
Yeah.
down here in the by?
No, it'll be, I'll just print Mike's name, but the name of the sponsor needs to be Mike's signature. He's the chairman of the board.
Okay.
So go ahead. Do I assume we have a motion?
Well, I'm.
These
yeah,
are the ingress, egress, and
Yeah, and then, I think we gotta sign them too.
you do.
But yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to approve.
Go ahead and sign.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And this one.
I need to get that photo up over by the Cottonwood Bridge
Yes,
on
sir.
Broadway or something. These two, when we start working on that, we'll do it
Yeah.
later this month, next month.
All right, on to item 7, consideration possible action on approving resolutions appointing receiving officers for various accounts.
And we have one for Langston Fire Department.
Okay. Hear a motion?
Let me look at it.
Okay. Word is it? I don't know her. Davis. Gregory Davis.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, item 8, consideration possible action on approving resolutions appointing requisitioning officers for various accounts.
I have none.
And then, I guess this would be item 9 that's missing. Well, 8.5. Consideration and possible action on approving the following permanent road crossing permit for Tall Oak Midstream Pipeline Company LLC and Oklahoma Natural Gas. Got some 16-inch lines up there. This is it. Okay. Up there in your turf there, Monty.
Well, it starts off in District 1, I think.
Is it? Oh, yes, it is. Well, 18 and 2 west. Yeah. Maybe only G.
18-2 should be all. District 3.
I just seen the first one, there's stamped District 1.
Might be right down on the line.
Might be.
But I'd say it should be District 3.
I'll double check the legal.
77 and I-35.
Is it,
Yeah.
does it matter who gets the cash?
That's definitely District 3.
Well, if it matters who gets the cash, I can see why you'd be interested in correcting that.
Oops. Check with this.
Well, we normally give a copy of these to the county assessor, and if there's anything taxable,
I see.
you know, they can do their part of it.
They don't tax the other two districts for the,
Well, I mean, it don't matter what district, but
yeah.
Cynthia tries to keep a map on Google Earth of where all these lines are, and what matters to her.
It doesn't matter to us.
Matters as to whose account I put that check in.
He gets them all, but then he can have them.
You didn't have it made out to you.
No,
General government does get a portion though.
general government gets a third.
Oh, gee. Now that one will be tomorrow's. 15 north, 3 west.
That one
That
for,
one.
for Oklahoma Natural Gas is,
Mhm.
those 18-2s are District 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
And gee, I'm sorry, but Oklahoma Natural Gas doesn't pay permit fees.
Yeah, I'm lucky if rural water even tells me they're putting in a water line. Amazing. Had discovered that myself at university here the other day.
We got a motion on this.
No, sir.
I so move, we approve.
Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 9, consideration possible action on the consent agenda.
Payroll. One transfer. Checks.
Well, where's that? 42 grand. There's David's grant.
What in the world did David do that we're signing on?
He needed to move some money into his travel account.
He didn't need to go anywhere. Fire season's about to start. He just told me that this morning.
That's why he did it before fire season. Like it's,
On travel, what's he pay out of travel? I mean,
he actually was in school for a week and had to cover the hotel costs.
Well, what do we pay a storage company for out of the highway fund?
That's receiving money.
Oh, okay, never mind. That makes more sense.
Oh, shucks. Sign the wrong place.
FEMA, anything?
Did it?
I didn't catch it.
I have some receipts in limbo. It's here, it's deposited. What has been received. I'll have them on the next round. But those other ones we talked about haven't.
At the CED meeting yesterday, some of them guys was talking about FEMA, how they're just really dragging their feet. I said, man, I thought they were really,
I thought it was very quickly to get that in.
Well, you have a different group.
right, yeah, FEMA people. I'll tell you, the ones we got are pretty speedy up here.
Well, they had a bunch down there that were, okay, I leave, it's like Thursday. Okay, I leave Friday. Oh, you next Friday? No, tomorrow.
You know, in the years past, we'd get a FEMA person in here, and about the time you got them figured out, they'd transfer them somewhere else, and you'd have a new guy with new forms, and
Well, that's what they're doing down south, still.
Marvin, we did get your 6,100 from FEMA also. It's going into your M&O, but it won't be in there till next week.
Story of our life.
Pardon?
Story of our life. Thank you very much. Okay, somebody missed one here. You know, if it wasn't for local governments, printed newspapers would go out of business.
I have been advocating for a change in our publication laws for quite some time, and though there are many that agree, quite honestly, I've been told, and I've actually seen proof positive, the OPA is something that legislators don't want to take on.
Oh, you mean like the OEA and all those other three-letter acronyms at state level? Yeah.
Several years ago, one of the legislators kind of threw a softball out to just kind of test the waters of changing the publication laws, and yeah, it was withdrawn pretty quick.
Definitely helps prop that newspaper up, no question.
Well, it truthfully, in my personal opinion, it's a prime example as how government is being forced to subsidize a private business.
See, I don't have a problem in the world with the legislature saying that those critical items of information need to be published, right? But that should be like up for bid. You know, the lowest bidder, who wants to do that? Right?
Well, I think in today's age,
If we live in a free market, go ahead.
I think that if you looked at subscribers versus say number of hits, I believe that probably Guthrie News page over here is getting more to the public than the local newspapers, but his does not equal the law to be able to qualify as publications.
Because he doesn't print it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Neither
And that's
does
why I think that's a little bit
posting on any
injustice.
website does not
Right.
qualify, and
Would
so.
you think that you would be wanting to get to the most people to advise them in
You
that
know,
way.
that's what would be reasonable, practical, and logical, but
Absolutely, but
that's not
it
the
does
way they
not
are.
under the law.
What would be considered getting to the most people would be like a Facebook or, you know.
Exactly, exactly.
The law was intended to provide public notice,
Mhm.
right? And so
100 years ago.
100 years ago.
Right.
Last century.
Gutenberg, I mean, we've been living in that printed page ever since then, right? So-
So if people are
Currently-
wanting public access, the public needs to get up and
At-
get it.
As an estimate, if you take the resale cost, because Sherry has to do such massive publications with resale stuff, what we have to publish, I think it's a fair estimate to say this county is spending probably $35,000 a year.
I think it would be interesting
Right.
For
to look
publications.
at that and kind of determine whether or not it would be a better interest for the county and the taxpayers to actually do mail-outs to the residents that live in the county rather than publish something like that in the paper.
But
See
the
what I
problem
mean?
is that wouldn't meet statute,
Yeah,
because the statutes
that's right.
say,
Well, that's what I'm talking about. If you could show the
Publish in a
difference,
newspaper.
if you show the difference, I mean, the intent, I mean, would be there, still be there, right? So everybody would be getting.
I agree, I would gladly, send them in any direction. In fact, Chris and I have actually had this discussion that,
My point
it
is,
doesn't meet the law.
it's hard to change a statute if you don't have a second option. If you don't have a plan B, that would kind of be a plan B.
A few years ago, we received from the commissioners a printout in the mail, and it told us what was going to be done to the roads for the 2013 through the end of 2014.
I
And
think your
scheduling.
commissioner actually on his own prepared that, because the county's not allowed to do that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think your commissioner on his own funds, not county funds, prepared that for the residents.
Well, it had all three districts, which was great, because we knew what roads may be affected, and it kept up to that. It's just getting it taken care of.
That might have been a state road.
Oh, a state rep might have done that. This is the election board reimbursement. I think the answer to the other, personally, is change the law and allow us to put it on our website and equal and
Right.
be done.
I kind of agree with that too. Because the other thing it does is that a paper that's dependent upon a local government for their livelihood is less likely to be what I would term an investigative newspaper into government
Well,
mischief.
we're subsidizing that private business, and I have an issue with that, so.
Well, then that's why
It's a
letting that
legislative-
surge
Utilities.
is not good.
Legislator's edict, county doesn't have an option.
No.
Until the legislators decide they want to change that for whatever reason, that's the law of the land. Unfortunately. So we can do it on our own dime, so what I do is I email out to everybody who wants to sign up, and also I put it out there on Facebook, and various places like that, so a maximum number of people can see it, as well as my website.
Unfortunately, the printed newspapers are going broke. They can't keep up with the modern media.
And unfortunately, there are people who don't know how to use a computer and don't access it. So,
And they say
That
one-
is now the minority, not the majority. And in all fairness to the majority, which is what we are supposed to
correct.
do, and in the interest of properly spending the public money, we need the ability to meet our legal obligations in
Absolutely.
a cost-effective manner.
Absolutely. I don't know of anything more cost-effective than the internet.
That's it.
Is that?
And this
Oh.
is
No,
usually
I'm-
we
I'm-
don't
I'm
sign
letting
it,
you
so you
cut
might
it.
wanna look at it.
Holy smoke. Somebody leave the lights on?
That's just the courthouse building.
And that's just what the court clerk. or-
The court clerk pays a third of the courthouse utilities.
OG&E 3. We need to put a big blanket over that thing or what?
Well,
Don't change its hysterical view.
Heaven forbid you make it work, functional. I'll make the motion we approve. it.
We're not done.
Oh.
Alcoholic beverage tax.
Ooh, can't miss
Mike's the
that
only one that is required to sign.
Yeah, I didn't want to sign it anyway, too much money.
That's to get us back that third.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, get that. $3,000 for electricity bill, that's just amazing.
And that's after we have replaced the windows in the building. It was much worse before that.
Is that the building next door?
The courthouse.
So
across the
Courthouse,
street.
okay.
I can see the students are back. They beat Crescent on the liquor sales.
Now I'll make the motion that we approve the consent agenda items.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 10, consideration possible action on approving payment of claims for September 2015. Warrants.
Well, I think we ought to pay them since that we got them.
Have to.
I'll make the motion we approve them.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Sheriff.
What, is that me?
Nope.
Oh.
This one might be though.
Mhm.
Which one's that? Oh, yeah. That little uniform company, if they don't start Gene and Honda this a little closer, we're probably gonna change again. They get a lot of money invested in them.
Yeah, it's that quick now.
Is there?
Let's get Jim and the boy. Only one in the compliance. $17. Big deal.
Well, except for this one.
The stacks have been smaller.
17 over.
Mm-hmm. Still generates a.
I'm just gonna miss it one time.
I think we actually had one in there that was a couple of cents over.
Oh.
I ain't gonna say it very loud, cause I'll probably have one next month.
That's a sure way to jinx yourself, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I wanna move that we approve.
The action's already done on the claims.
Alright.
Yeah, we did.
I'm gonna go on to number 11.
No, you can't. Well, yeah, you can. We do have the addendum item.
Well, move to this.
I don't have it on my agenda.
Did she not print you out a
Get it
copy?
printed out. Well, we can go ahead and have citizens be heard again. While we're waiting.
May I make a suggestion on the courthouse? When was the last time the lines were checked? $3,000. I know G&E can be higher and kite, but what type of wiring is in that building? If it's older wiring that may still be good, it may not be cost effective to keep it in there.
Well, I assure you the wiring's not real well in there.
Yeah, I did. Well, I did. I figured that out. $3,000. I mean, we're lucky we have a co-op. That doesn't make any difference. Which would be cheaper to try and fix those lines that need to be fixed, or continue going on possibility of higher bills in the future.
It's definitely something to check into.
Because even the
Whoops, sorry.
All right. Agenda item number 1, consideration of possible action on approving a specific assistance agreement between Logan County and Oklahoma County to assist Logan County with repaving Waterloo Road, our county section line road between Midwest Boulevard and Douglas.
It needs it.
Just over on you, Mike.
Yeah.
Yes, this is from mine. It's an agreement that Ray Vaughn put before his council, before their commissioners, and they approved that. And basically what it is District 2 will be providing 1/4 of the cost of the overlay of Waterloo for that 1 mile. So they're currently already fixing the failures along there, doing a really super job. Fabric, compacted aggregate, and then a good 6 inches at least of asphalt. And then they're gonna mill that down about 3 to 4 inches and then put 6 inches on top of it.
I visited with Ray about this the other day.
My husband's retired CB, and he even noticed the improvement by the contracting company that's doing the roads. And he was much impressed, especially Pine. They went down to Bear Rock and went back up in levels and did it the way it's supposed to be done. That's gonna last a lot longer than just putting asphalt over it.
So we,
Do y'all wanna look at this?
Oh, you
It's
wanna
just
look at
his
it.
signature.
Yeah.
And the copies are all the same.
I mean, if I'm gonna yay or nay it, I'd like to see what it is. I think it's basically kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I think all they did was just change the location and the dollar amount.
what it is. So it's about 350,000. That's what their estimate is on that. They're using Atlas, who has their bid.
How's Atlas? I mean, they bid the project?
Yeah, they
They went out for bids?
they went out, actually, I think they have a 6-month bid on that. I mean, that's their deal, you know, but
So yeah, here's the, on the back page, here's the breakdown.
they seem to think they have it.
Maybe their DA's good friends with that article.
I would suppose.
Well, Mike, if you're good with it, I'll make a
I'm
motion.
good.
I
I'm
second.
good. It's high time. And people have suffered quite a lot on that.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And we have item 12, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners. And I'm going to start that off with our IT person for the assessors. Was able to get a Wi-Fi access box there for $200, set it all up. I thought that was a good outlay, as the Cox for us to have a separate line and all the above was going to run us about $100 a month. So we went ahead and did that, and so it's going to be public access. I guess the only real question I have on that is currently it is secure, and I'm wondering if we want to take that off and just let anybody that comes in here access that, or whether we just want to put up something on the wall that has the username and password on it.
I've had Wi-Fi available in my office for 3-4 years now. And even though it is a public Wi-Fi, it doesn't require a username and a password that we do hand out and issue to those that want to use it and request it. I have signs up that tell them that Wi-Fi is available. And then we have little printed sheets, we give them the password and
That's an option.
rather than just leaving an open draw. And I think the advantage to that is driving down the street and pulling in on, at least you know that it's more contained.
Not like a
to
lot.
pulling down on these.
I guess I got a question about, was there some sort of a contract done between?
No, Tish just bought.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, she had other things she had put in there, so. That's my understanding.
Marvin, she has an annual
Yeah.
with her
It
maintenance.
sounded there for a minute like the Board of Commissioners had committed some funds to do something, and I didn't understand the explanation. As far as access, public access, there are ways we can set up public access that one doesn't require a logon password, and that can be set up securely as well, to where they can't access the rest of the network. Or we can do it the way you talked about. I mean, either way is fine.
Mine's
We can do that.
separate as
Yeah.
well in my system. It's
Right.
locked into a direct, but it was,
Most of them allow a different setup for guest, what they call guest access, and it treats them a lot differently from a security standpoint. And we can do that.
One thing I have is tomorrow's a budget meeting.
Yes.
Numbers look good to me, but something I think we need to do is sit down and write up a scope of work of the upgrades we'd like to do on the courthouse, so we can get that out to bids. But I think all three of us, and Troy included, works in the courthouse, we need to come up with a scope of work so we can send it out for bids and try to clean that up some.
and just falling under the daily maintenance that this board asked me to keep on doing over there for the last 4 years, and I think you know, Monty. The two public restrooms, I'm doing my office, Sherry's doing her office, but we included the two publics are having fixture replacement and flooring replacement. I'm hoping that I can get them to schedule it for the 12th, since the building will be closed on that date. It's just gonna be much easier to get that all done. Part of the issues that we've had on the first floor especially is a constant backup on all of those. So Jeremy at Action Plumbing is gonna put in the power flush toilets and try to keep those lines going, and we're replacing the very old hot water tanks that are on the floor with some small wall mount models, and try to get them all upgraded and done, and hopefully that'll be done within the next week or two.
May I make a suggestion? When I brought up earlier that, have somebody come in and check the wiring. The county may not know this, but if you have a contractor, a bonded contractor to come in and check all the wiring, he may not be an electrician. So there are times when a contractor only tells you what's wrong, where it is, where the problem is, and how to fix it. So if you're thinking about having somebody check the lines, see if they are an electrician as well as a contractor and a licensed electrician, and he may be able to do it himself. It may save money, the county some money in getting that done, because if you have a company like that, then that's the type of company you get.
Any other discussion?
I'm done.
All right, well, I would consider a motion on item 13.
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor? We're out of here.